laid bare the contributors of teenage pregnancies.
Per week you could find that we have about 4 girls who have been impregnated, and now after these programs were being brought in our area, now I can state that we have less.
Changamoto ya kushika mimba ama kupata mimba wasichana wakiwa wadogo ni kwa sababu ya kukosa ushauri, na sana ushauri wa wazazi. Mafunzo ama maelekezo wakitumia lugha ambayo watoto wanaelewa. Wasitumie mavumbo, kwa maana wakitumia mavumbo mtoto hatapata ukweli wa mambo na itamlazimu akaende akatafuta huo ukweli mahala pengine.
While underscoring the need for families to put concerted efforts to talk to children from a young age and instill values and a tight schedule, the parents admitted that they had left the responsibility to teachers.
Tunaweza relate na wao tukiwa kwa nyumba, kuongelesha mtoto akiwa na shida. Unapata saa nyingine mtoto ako na shida, but unapata relationship ya mtoto na mzazi haiko sawa.
Tumeelimishwa jinsi ya ubora wa kuhusiana karibu na watoto ambao kwa kuhusika katika mambo ya communication na mtoto, nitajua shida za mtoto atakuwa free kujieleza pahali niko kama mzazi, na nitakuwa na uwezo wa kuelewa matatizo ama shida ambazo mtoto hupitia.
According to Kenya Connect, a non-governmental organization in Wamunyu, Machakos County, parents need to engage in constant communication with their children and create a safe haven for sharing crucial health information.
And it's been really exciting over the last 2 years to see the programs unfold. First, with our team doing programs at schools with the boys and with the girls, because we believed it couldn't just be all about the girls. Boys need to be part of the equation and they need to learn too.
They are also required to work closely with schools in advocacy and awareness so as to combine efforts against the surge in teenage pregnancies.
Kutoka 0 mpaka miaka 3 hivi. Si akona mwili. Nao mwili unazungumuza na kuna signs adaonyesha. Kwa hivyo nikiona akifanya mambo nisimpike.
The parents' training is expected to continue across the country, especially in schools, in order to demystify taboos related to health. And even as the world celebrates the Day of the African Child, it is clear that fostered collaborations will help curb the menace of teenage pregnancy, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, that contributes more than 2/3 of teenage pregnancy cases worldwide. Electin Odera, K24 TV, Wamunyu, Machakos County.
In commemorating the Day of the African Child, Mombasa, Kilifi and Makueni counties are lobbying for better education for all African children. Our reporter Frederick Kai with that report.
In Mombasa County, pupils with hearing impaired from Ziwani School for the Deaf marched to celebrate the Day of African Child. They asked the government to provide them with a conducive environment for learning.
Bado shule za watoto walemavu ziko na changamoto kadhaa. Utapata hizi shule ziko na shida kama kuna JSS Junior Secondary School. Unapata watoto wana lab. Ukienda lab za watoto wengine wana ulemavu, lab iko fully equipped, but watoto walemavu lab zao ni empty, ni just a room tu haina kitu.
Mara mingi utapata kwamba mashule ambavyo zinaweza wakubali watoto ambao wako na ulemavu ni chache sana. So ile chache ambayo inawakubali pia they get overwhelmed. Walimu wenyewe wametrainiwa ndio, lakini numbers zikiwa mingi pia hawawezi support. So that's why we need the learning support assistant kwenye darasa aweze kumsaidia mwalimu kupunguza uzito wa kazi yake.
A non-governmental organization, Sense International, has been the forefront in making sure the pupils get the much needed support in class by providing 2 sign languages experts in the school.
Ombi letu ni kwamba county government, Ministry of Education yaweza kuajiri hawa learning support assistant ili waweze kusaidia pale mashuleni.
The 2 sign languages experts cover all the classes in order to help the pupils. The workload is heavy. The school lacks enough classrooms and a school laboratory to help the pupils in CBC learning, which hinder them from getting quality education.
The challenge that we have and would like ask the government to do is to provide the learning materials, learning stock teaching materials, and the other one, the LSA, to support should continue. This program really asks not to stop.
At Bodoi Primary School in Kilifi County, pupils staged a street demonstration calling on the government to heed to their needs. Among the issues at the school are lack of enough classrooms, drug use and land grabbing.
Madarasa wanahitaji shamba lao kuwekwa ukuta ama perimeter wall. Wako na changamoto, wako na labara la kompyuta lakini hawana computers. Kwa hivyo shule ina changamoto
nyingi, zinapotea, jamii nyingi hazifanyi vizuri. Unakila ukiangalia hivi ni sababu ya kwamba wale ambao wako pale hawakupata elimu ya sawa.
The school chair Alphonse Baya wants the government to intervene and assure the people and the community at large that the school land will be protected.
Hii shule imezungukwa na watu ambao iko katika community. Sasa mara nyingi mtoto akitoka hapa vile anavyoambatana na mtoto mwenzake ambaye labda haendi shuleni, huwa anafundishwa vitu ambavyo havistahili.
In Makueni County, poverty, poor parenting and culture have been blamed for deteriorating education standards. Non-governmental organizations have come together to fight the vice and make sure the quality of education is improved in Makueni.
Poverty has affected education in ways that some children we find are not in school. They are out there looking for food.
We encourage, do a lot of community education to make sure at least they have been sensitized for now to take care of their children.
However, they want the government to intervene and safeguard children's rights in the country by providing the necessary support in education system. Frederick, K24, Mombasa.
The heavily guarded briefcase carried by the Treasury Cabinet Secretary during the annual budget reading has sparked curiosity and concern among Kenyans. Many citizens have questioned the necessity of the extensive security measures surrounding what they perceive to be merely financial papers. Public sentiment has highlighted this as an example of government wastefulness, with critics pointing out the high costs of maintaining a heavily guarded environment around the Treasury and Parliament. They argue that these resources funded by taxpayers culminate in a single presentation of documents and do not justify the expense. Linda Koskei with this story.
National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Njuguna Ndung'u arrived at Parliament buildings on Thursday, ready to present the financial year 2024-2025 budget. He made his entrance in a Volkswagen Passat and was warmly received by the parliamentary leadership, led by Budgetary Committee Chair Ndindi Nyoro. Ndung'u, dressed impeccably in a blue suit, paired with a white shirt, a red tie and a rose lapel pin, projected an image of confidence and readiness as he prepared to deliver the crucial budget address. And you can't miss to notice his iconic briefcase.
The weight does not reflect the quality, isn't it? But it is heavy because it is a box. It is a whole bag. And you can see we have put in 3 documents.
The briefcase holds significant symbolic and historical value. The tradition dates back to the 19th century. In the United Kingdom, it began with William Ewart Gladstone, who first used a red briefcase to carry his budget speech in 1860. This tradition has been adopted and adapted by various countries.
Just show that it is empty. Remember the abracadabra? We have no abracadabra here, so this one has been brought.
The briefcase symbolizes the responsibility of the Treasury Secretary in managing the nation's finances. It holds the details of the budget, which outlines the government's financial plans for the upcoming year.
Iko na nini ndani ya kuchunga sana. I'm sure hata professor angetumia ile security anakuanga nayo daily. Hiyo briefcase ingefika parliament, atusomee budget na tuendelee na maisha.
A concerned Kenyan just wondered why it was so guarded if all it carried was documents and not money.
I don't see any relevance ya kutumia security wao wote hao wengi wote waende na wachunge briefcase for about at 100 meters to a distance of about 100 meters.
A member of the Institute of Certified Public Accounts of Kenya ISPAC Finance Committee, Erastus Omolo, shares what he knows about this briefcase.
The briefcase that the Minister for Finance carries traditionally used to carry budget secrets. Things that is talk about and say from tonight at midnight, petrol has gone up by this. VAT is this, and so on and so on and so on.
He also confirmed that millions of shillings are spent every financial year to secure the briefcase. This revelation has intensified the debate as Kenyans call for greater transparency and accountability in government spending.
When we continue to show this shining briefcase costing millions of shillings, it is a sign of grandiose behavior which is totally unnecessary. Uhuru Kenyatta, for example, we saw him carry the budget speech in an envelope. And the minister, also one of the other finance ministers, done the same. And they actually walked from Treasury to Parliament buildings.
Mambo ya Profesa amegusia mambo ya wastage ya government. Hiyo mobilization ya security, mambo yote, na ameenda kuongea mambo ya wastage ya government. Hiyo mobilization hizo sasa zimetumika na hiyo ni just babas ya kwenda kusoma.
The act of carrying the briefcase has become a ceremonial part of Budget Day. The image of the Treasury Cabinet Secretary holding up the briefcase has become a powerful visual symbol of the government's financial policy announcement.
Walk, save money on fuel, carry it in an envelope costing, I think it's 5 shillings. Come and read it. Because at the end of the day, what will be read will be almost nothing in almost.
Over the years, the design of the briefcase has seen changes reflecting both continuity and modernization. For instance, in the UK, a new briefcase was introduced in 2011, made from red leather instead of the original red box. In essence, the briefcase is both a practical tool and a potent symbol of the financial authority and responsibility vested in the Treasury Secretary. But Kenyans now recommend that he should just present the documents in an envelope, which is cheaper compared with the amount of money used to acquire the briefcase. Linda Koskei, K24 TV.
Well, on that interesting note, we take another break. Coming up is the Voice of Nature, and the focus is on poor waste collection in urban centers. Stay with us.
Mwezi huu wa Mei, changamka na StarTimes. Tunaleta joto na channels mpya na shows mpya kwa ajili yako. Chagua bouquet yako na uwe connected. Enjoy magic na adventure zaidi kwenye Kili Channel.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome.
Ni sherehe zaidi kwa wapenzi wa spoti, wrestling, basketball na football.
A goal to send a message.
Lipia subscription yako uwe connected. Guswa hisia na drama na telenovela freshi, movie kali, documentaries, mziki na lifestyle channel. Changamka na StarTimes.
Let's get ready to
download StarTimes on app kwa burudani kemkem wakati wowote popote ulipo. StarTimes, furahia maisha kidijitali.
Kabla nichukue simu yako, wacha nikwambie, ile mawe ambayo ilikataliwa na wajenzi nimeipata leo. Nimeenda kuuma dengu. Nimeuma kamawe na masikia uchungu. Nikajua, haya, kumbe ile mawe ilikataliwa na wajenzi na kwa ndani ya dengu. Ai, masikia uchungu.
Ili kuset mawe kwa ndengu kama sikiza tune yako, dial *811*616#.
Welcome back. Now, waste collection in urban areas has been cited as a significant challenge due to poor strategies by county governments and city administrations. However, waste collection groups have emerged to fill this gap by providing this service. In the Dandora neighborhood, one youth group involved in waste collection has set up a waste bank where residents deliver waste and receive food items such as flour in return. Dan Kaburu has more on this week's segment, The Voice of Nature.
The Dandora neighborhood is famous for hosting the largest dump site in the country. We meet a Soundamboki carrying waste to this community waste bank. When waste arrives here, it is first sorted according to its type. After that, it is recorded in a book where the resident who brought the waste earns points based on the type of waste they delivered. And then exchanged for food items such as flour. Ndamboki informs us how this program benefits the residents.
Mitaka banki menilea jo. Juu kama sai, kama leo, hata si ati sai, kama leo nilikuwa tu na mboga ya kienyeji na mafuta. Na hata sikuwa na zaunga, sijui kama hata watu wangekula leo, unaona? Mimi pale kwa korido yangu maplastiki zile zangu na kwincha kabaki nimekusanya nimeleta hapa taka bank. Nikapata hapo mwenye anapima. Pata hapo mwenye anapima sikabaki tumenegotiate akanichagulia vitu zangu zile mzuri akaweka mali nafaa zile mbaya akatoa. Sikuwa na expect naweza pata ati unga ya ndovu 1 kg.
Zipora Anyango also brings waste from her home to this waste bank. For 2 years, she has been delivering waste here and receiving flour and other food items in return.
It's helped most youths who doesn't have jobs and most women who doesn't have jobs.
How did this waste bank start?
Mostly as youths we've been doing these waste management programs. We've been doing security services along this area because we manage this area. So over the years we've been seeing these issues of rampant dumping and the likes. And being that I come from Dandora, and Dandora is the major hub for dump site all over the country. This is where we have the largest dump site, I think across Africa. But in most cases, because we face so many issues with the government and also the society about managing these waste and the likes, because there are also cartels involved. So we try to come up with another strategy of diminishing this social norm of rampant dumping. So we saw that instead of following the norm of always going to homes and collecting waste, then taking them to the dump site, what if we come up with another strategy of which we can face these targeted individuals, because these waste come from the grassroots level at household level. So we thought of a way of reaching these people in these homes. What if we can come to them and reach to them, then they themselves, they collect these waste from their own homes, and instead of throwing them, they bring them to us. So we thought of a way of which we can empower them, or even we can encourage them. We can encourage them with this project. And so we sorted out of means and ways, then came up with this project. In itself, Taka Bank means that a waste reserve, of which here, not only that the waste are being brought here, but we also we also try to find ways of capitalizing these waste so that ourselves we can earn from them, and also we can stop them from reaching the dump sites. Then they can, instead of reaching the dump site, we act as a medium of taking them, of serving between the household level and the recycling plant level.
How are the points earned?
Plastic has the highest value of points, of which it has 5 points for now. Because we are dealing with plastic, paper and glass, Then a paper has a value of 3 points according to the papers. If it is polythene or it is a box, if it is a polythene paper, he has a 3 points. But if it is a light paper, it has 2 points. Then there are boxes. Then there is a glass which has one point. So we thought of maybe what if we create value to this waste, to these people, and we try to create a picture to them that instead of disposing or throwing away this litter, itself, if you decide to store it and continuously collect them and then bring them to your nearest stack-up bank point, it can give you something. You can receive something out of it instead of just throwing it and then you see you pollute your environment and still there is nothing you've gained. Then there's some health issues that arise from this rampant dumping, you see. So that is what we thought. Then we came out to the public, then we introduced this, then we told them if at all you can bring this waste to us, in turn we can exchange something to you. Instead of, we don't have that capacity of paying you cash, but we can give you something out of it, maybe food stuff, you see, from maize flour, wheat, sugar, according to whatever you bring to us. You see. In a slum like this, people, the only thing that has value in this slum is food. And if you can give somebody food just because he brought you waste, you see, so many people will come.
Takataka kitambo mimi niko na dispose tu kila mahali, unaona? No saa hii nimejua taka bank iko ni kuchukua tu takataka twangu naleta hapa taka bank, wanachagua zile mzuri, wanajisort. Hao ndio wanajua pale watapeleka. Sasa unaona hadi kwa plot sasa ni kusafi at least. Tuko na tupa tu hapo kando na varanda hapo tu. Ati zinaja hapo. Lakini taka bank imefanya shughuli poa mbaya sana.
Actually, when we started, we managed to bring on board almost 27 youth groups from different places.
Ni madila wapoa takataka mbaya, wanasaidia mbaya. Jue saa hii, sijui kwa utaweza pata timu 200 ati ubaiunga. Labda tu kusanye tu mambo yako 2-3, waste yako, lete hapa taka bank utasaidika.
Okar says that their hope is to eventually acquire a waste recycling facility to create new products from the waste they collect from residents.
My call to the national government and the county government is that they help us. Even if they can set aside a budget that can actually stand in for managing this waste, solid waste material, we have the solution.
Considering that Dandora neighborhood hosts one of the largest dump sites in Africa,